Hi everyone, my name is Devik and I'm your techie tantrika. Wow, what a week! I came across this amazing social media campaign that talks about, well, colorism in India. It was created by two sisters named Marusha and Yanusha and an engineering student named Pax Jones. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because this campaign is a hashtag campaign called unfairandlovely, which is a play on words to a very popular beauty product in India called Fair and Lovely, which is basically a bleaching agent for the skin that's actually very damaging. It's had a lot of really interesting ingredients thrown into it that are carcinogenic, and including mercury. Unfortunately, our makeup industry, even in North America, is very unregulated, but I've noticed it's not available here officially. I don't even know if the FDA has even looked at it and that sort of thing. I haven't seen anything about it being approved anywhere online. I'm bringing this up because, wow, I just found this whole colorism and shadeism thing, it falls into play in a lot of post-colonial countries. You're seeing this a lot even in, let's say, Asian countries where people are trying to change the shape of their eyelids to look more Caucasian. The whole issue that's being very problematic in a lot of these countries is that there's a lot of societal pressure, even from within the family units, of these people who are using these products to actually look more Caucasian. Basically, I don't even know why they say fair. Like, I've heard so many people use that term, and I'm just like, yeah, you're basically saying that person looks white. So, I mean, I don't understand this concept of wanting to look like a different race. It doesn't make sense to me. It never has. I understand the concerns in these situations is usually like, parents worrying about their kids not being able to live a life where they can get married easily and have kids and this sort of thing. So basically, it's usually used just as a way to help somebody get married. That's one of the biggest reasons why people do this stuff. I don't know what to say to this. Like, there's a lot of issues around these unhealthy methods and procedures and products that are available to us that are supposed to aesthetically enhance us to try to help us win at life somehow. Like, I just don't get it, because we're living in a world now where information is becoming more accessible and there's a lot more being provided to us about the side effects of a lot of things, like, let's say, even unnecessary aesthetic plastic surgeries, steroids. I'm not shaming the people who are partaking in these things. A lot of the times it's because of some horrible pressures in these people's lives. And it's horrible when it's coming from a family, and the family might just want the best for somebody. Like, let's say, it has something to do with their career, or, like, they want them to have a good life. These parents that are giving these options to their kids, or even the people who are just drawn to these things and feel like they're going to get something out of it, even if it's just a short-term gain to help them in their lives at that time, a lot of the times these people are not thinking about the long-term effects of their decisions. And I'm not blaming anybody for this. Like, this is just, a huge shift that needs to happen in the mindsets of what's already there. And there's so much that goes into looks, because even right now, I'm in a visual medium talking to you. I've been in a visual medium pretty much my whole life. I've been a performer since I was like 3 or 4, and I totally understand that the media has such a huge influence in what we consider acceptable on a very broad, very glazed over sort of, level. But nobody's going to live your life for you. And when we decide to take these steps that are going to be harmful to ourselves to try to get short-term gains, it becomes problematic, because nobody's teaching these people who suffer from these decisions, like, how to invest in themselves. And a lot of families who, let's say, are encouraging these things think that they're doing it maybe based off of beliefs that were passed on to them. So really there's a cycle. It's not just as easy as blaming somebody's family or blaming just the circumstances. The problem is that people are not investing in, looking internally. And unfortunately, a lot of this wisdom is considered cliche, like this whole concept of believing in yourself and investing in what matters most. I had filmed this video previously, and I had talked about even my experiences in high school, and I had said, like, for example, with me, I always felt it was important to invest in my own passions and my own desires, and I dressed the way I wanted to, and I loved to express myself creatively, and I really didn't care, like, for example, like, I had a lot of friends, but I didn't have, like, a lot of, like, dates or anything like that in high school. I really didn't give a rat's ass. Like, it didn't bother me at the time, but I'll be honest, like, I had those insecurities that other teenagers had, but, like, my insecurities laid in, like, also tied to my potential career. I was like, well, if I want to be an actor, I have to look a certain way and this sort of thing. But I'm so thankful I continued investing in my own passions and listening to myself, because what ultimately happened is, after 10 years in the film and television industry, I ended up in belly dance, and belly dance was an amazing community to me. It just blew my mind, and this is why I left film and television, because I was around empowered women and men, a lot of women who were also running their own business, who were also running studios, who were performers themselves. I was meeting women from all different industries who were, like, let's say hobbyists, or, just doing because they enjoyed it. But what I found was there was so much transformation happening for the women who were doing this, because they enjoyed what they were doing. They were becoming connected with their body. And, like, from a tantric point of view, this makes sense to me, because we live in a very, let's say, like, neck up sort of society, and we don't really talk about investing in your body, investing who we are, and, really understanding our own worth for ourselves. And with belly dance, you're getting the body moving, you're getting the lower energies moving in the body. So that's like the sacral chakra, which houses your sexual and creative energy, which is your pelvis area, and the root chakra, which is, really rooted into your ability to attract what you need to live in your life. Like, from a material standpoint, so it's like your money, your security, your, physical security, that sort of thing. So I saw a holistic opportunity to be a part of in that community, and I took it, and I love it, and I met so many great dancers from all over the world, and I met cool actors too when I was in film and television. But I mean, I love that I could have more control over what I'm doing with my life through dance, and also even through this. Like, I get to enjoy talking about what I enjoy talking about with my clients and with the people around me with YouTube, and I feel like tech will always be here to change our world. Like, this is the age of information, and what I love about this is anybody who's feeling alone right now or experiencing pain because they don't feel that great about themselves, or the people around them might indirectly or directly make them feel like crap, it's easier, I should say, now to reach out to the people online who also understand this feeling. And I also feel like, this pain is universal, whether it's eating disorders, colorism, body shaming, fat shaming, body dysmorphia. All these things have the same very visceral pain attached to it. And I love that they're all being targeted within the groups that are talking about these things, because those people do need to know each other. They do need to connect, because when you get specific, that's where things do change. But I do have to say that this pain is very universal. We all have, we all have that knowing of insecurity, or that knowing of not feeling like we're in ourselves at some point in our lives. And some of us live with this in our lives. Some people, they might seem like they have everything, but what is everything? What we think of as perfect is an archetype. It's like chasing a rainbow. Nobody has it. Nobody has everything perfect. Nobody knows about what's going on with other people, and it doesn't even matter. Let's talk about you, like, forget about what's going on in other people's lives. Let's forget about what you're seeing on Facebook, or what you're seeing, through the news or through celebrity news or whatever, right? I think it's great to dream, and I think it's great to have goals, And they should start from you. They should start from being comfortable with who you are in your skin. This all comes down to, our own self-acceptance, our own self-awareness, our own self-pleasure. And I'm talking about self-pleasure on every level, like how much we bring into our lives that we enjoy, how we touch ourselves, how we view ourselves, how we date ourselves even. Like if we're single, even if you're in a relationship, you can technically still go on dates with yourself, go out and enjoy yourself. Like these are all things that we need to think about. I think if we really were enjoying our lives, we'd probably be spending more money on experiences. I'm glad that we're seeing movements where people are, let's say, working to be fit rather than thin, or learning that they are worth it. We have people now that are becoming more educated. We have more available to us through tech. We have more knowledge and more wisdom available to us. We have all these different tools that past generations didn't have. If you're doing something to enrich your life and that you feel happy about and you want to explore, go out and explore it. Like, the problem is we all feel like we're in cages when we live this way, like when we are trying to please others. And the thing is, the world is so vast and so available to us now that it's just like, that's how you get these beautiful campaigns going. Like, it's hard for me to think that future generations will have this problem, and I'm hoping that they don't. I'm hoping that people will continue to be sexually explorative and internally explorative and explorative in their lives and explorative, in their internal and external adventures. And just know that having the intention to live your own life is where it starts, is where it begins. Because when you feel like you want to live life for you and you want what makes you happy, it doesn't matter about going up against other people for it or whatever. Like, this starts from you. Like, this starts from exactly who you are. The litmus test for understanding, for example, like my litmus test at least, so and understanding what you really want, is the things that we often want can be done right away. You don't need a lot of money to do a lot of these things, or if it is something that's a bigger project, you can start taking steps from now. I know I'm not going to change the world in like one video. I know I'm not going to change your life in a whole video, but I am hoping that maybe this video is helpful to somebody, or maybe even just for myself. Maybe if I'm having a bad day, I can come back to it one day and be like, thanks, Davika. Anyways, I am going to leave it at that. If you've gone up against the colorism that I've discussed, or any sort of feelings where you are struggling, or even just struggling with right now about, self-acceptance and self-worth and self-value, feel free to comment in the comments section below, because you sharing your own story, you could be healing other people. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about the way people are using social media these days. It's freaking amazing. Until next week, everybody, thank you so much and take care.